Hey everyone, today I'm going to be bringing you a review on the 4 new limited edition Wet n Wild Fergie eyeshadows, better known as the Center Stage Collection Photo Op eyeshadows. I did pick up all 4 and they are in drugstores. I got these at Walgreens for $4.11 each, but they were marked as like $5.99. It's probably cheaper where you are. I do live in Brooklyn, so things are always like higher price because it's New York City, but overall fantastic, and I can't wait to show you guys. Now, I feel like if you picked up all 4 and you're the kind of girl that follows all the trends, you're covered. If you only follow a few of the trends, well, I'll tell you which ones to pick up to be on your specific trend, or no trend at all. So let's start with this one, and by this one I mean After Hours. Now, what drew me to this one initially was that bright cobalt blue right there in the center. Oh my goodness, when I saw that I was like, I need this. Of course I was gonna get them all for reviewing purposes, but this made me need it. If you're aware or unaware, the Fergie line has a gel liner in a blue similar to this. You should pick that up if you get this one. I think they'll go fantastic. I don't have it to show you guys, but I really think it would go great. Now let's talk about what you get in this shadow 5. I don't know what 5 is. I know 4 is quad. Whatever. You get a really nice gray right here. Really shimmery gray. Really applies well. You get a midnight blue that has a lighter blue, similar to the cobalt color, shimmer, micro shimmer mixed within it. You get a more typical, actually this is a black with the shimmer in it. This is a midnight blue. And then, of course, you get your cobalt blue and then your periwinkle color. Now, I loved that they included a periwinkle color, because usually when you see palettes like this, it'll be like white, light blue, medium blue, midnight blue, that dark black with the blue shimmer. Like, those are very typical. The periwinkle inclusion really blew me away, along with the brightness of the center. Now, what trend is this? Well, jewel tones are huge this fall. Huge. Especially if you pair them with metallics. So if you wore this eye look and you lined with like either a silver or gold liner, you'd be perfectly on trend. And with a nice sheer blue shirt, long sleeve blouse, oh, perfect. But in terms of pigmentation, I'm going to show pictures of swatches, but I'm going to do some live swatches here as well. So here's that grade shade, and they blend out really well, and this is a perfect highlight. Perfect highlight, I would have to say. I used it, I did it on my arm, and I was like, this is the most amazing highlight. Now, if you want these colors to really pop, apply them over primer, and use a dense brush, and pat them on. That goes for all 4 of these. The periwinkle shade, I wouldn't say it's matte, but it's not shimmer. It's definitely more, it's just flatter. It's flatter than a shimmer, but it's not as matte as a matte. But it's definitely also a really great highlight shade. Or if you're going for that soft blue look, especially during like the winter months, you can use that as a lid shade. Then we have our bright, bright cobalt blue. Look at that pigmentation. Oh, make a perfect lid color, crease color, line your eyes with it. Oh my god, put it in the inner corner, put it on the outer corner, use it to define the V. You can do a lot with it, okay? I was so happy when I saw that. Then we have our black, which is a matte, and it has that blue shimmer in it. It's very subtle, so you don't have to worry about looking too sparkly, especially if you're going to wear this to work. You know, if that's what you decide to do with your palette, it still works safe, absolutely. And then we have your midnight blue, which I'll show down here for comparison. It's definitely got a lot more of that blue, and it's like an inky blue, which is also really big this fall because a lot of the gothic-y colors are coming out, but they're being worn in very chic ways. So I believe it's a really cohesive palette, and you could definitely get a few good looks out of this one. And this was After Hours. Next up, we have Rose Parade. Now, when I saw this, I fell in love with it. I really did fall in love with it. But there's more than meets the eye in this palette. First of all, you get 2 pink shades, which lean purple, so they're more like a fuchsia-y pink rather than like a light pink, because some people get turned off to pink shades on the eye, but these are going to be really universally flattering on a lot of people. You have your matte black, which is always a great inclusion, and you have your jewel tone purple, like that super, it's not super dark, but it's like the super pigmented purple that I believe everybody should have this fall, because purple's really big this fall as well, on the lips, on the eyes, on the nails, purple's in. So this palette might have you completely covered. Now, the best part about this palette is this little shade right here. This light pink, when applied sheer, has almost a golden look to it in the light. Isn't that neat? And when you apply a little bit thicker, it still has a little bit of that golden reflection, that yellow reflection. I just think it's an amazing shade that you don't really see in the drugstore. So let me swatch that up for you. So here's the purple shade. And I don't know if you can really see it here, but you'll see it in the swatches when I show the pictures. Because you definitely get a golden look. Yeah, it's not showing up on the camera here, but I promise you, when you see the swatches, you'll see what I'm talking about. Then you have the pink. Really great pigmentation. A little powdery, so again, use some primer, pat it on with the dense brush, and you're good to go. You got this lighter pink. Great for highlight. Definitely great for highlight and blending out the darker shades. You have your matte black. Again, performs really well. And then we have our bright, bright purple. And just like this blue, very good jewel tones if you're looking for that jewel tone this fall. And again, you got all your purples here, so you can do a few different purple looks, still have a soft eye, have a smoky eye because you have the black if you use these two shades and use this on the brow. You have a lot of options in this palette as well, and you get a sponge applicator, which mine have all fallen out. But you do get a sponge applicator with all of these. Next up, we have the Bulletproof Glide. Now, if you're into the whole leather trend, the military print trend, this is the palette you want to get. If you're a fan of smoky eye, here's what the applicator looks like. I'm not a fan of it because of its shape, so I just used an e.l.f. brush. Now, this palette, if you're used to the typical smoky eye, like white, gray, black, that asphalt gray where it's like almost black, but it's got like that shimmer, that metallic, this is the palette you're going to want to go for. And what makes this one stand out among every other palette you probably have in your collection is this nude. You have a darkened nude. And I think that that's what makes this palette worth picking up. Because I know that a lot of common eyeshadow palettes are the white, the gray, the black. The white, the gray, the black. And this one just changed things up for you. Now this is a matte shade. So it's really going to give you that different look, especially since it's paired with, you have a pearl white. It looks matte when it's applied, but in the pan it looks like a pearlish white. You have your matte black, you have your darkened gray, and then you have your lightened, like silverish gray. And you can really do a lot with this. Now let me swatch this up for you. I'm going to do it on this hand because I'm out of room on the other hand. So here's your white. It's sheer, but it's intentionally sheer because it's meant to be used as a brow bone shade. Though you can put it on the lid, especially if you're using a darker shade in your crease, it'll really give you that bold contrast. But if you really want this shade to pop, of course, apply it over primer, pat it on, like I've been saying. Then we have this, like, medium gray. And again, really nice. All these colors really blend out well. Then we have that matte nude I was telling you about. Let me just, because the matte colors are a little bit tougher sometimes. And it really just kind of like matches my skin tone here, but in contrast, it's going to be a winning shade. Then we have a silver. Hold on, wait. Didn't even get any on. I'm going to put it here, which is really reflective in the light. I really like that one. And then you have the matte black. So the shades really aren't looking well on my hand, but when you see them in picture version, you're going to understand why I'm raving about this, but my hand is doing no justice to this at all right now, but I'm telling you, it's a gorgeous palette, especially, like I said, if you're going for that leather trend, that military trend. You could do a smoky eye with this, you can do a subtle eye with this. This will transition you from fall to winter, and of course, you know, smoky eye is always in style, so you can pick this up and it'll transition you just not this fall, but not just in this fall, but beyond. Now this is the palette that really just confused the everlasting crap out of me. It's the Suburban Jungle. Now at first I was like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But then I realized, wait a minute, there are people out there that don't follow any trend and they want to do their own thing. And you know what? This palette's perfect for you, because say you're like, oh, I don't want to do the military, I don't really care. I'm going to wear spring, summer shades in fall, winter. Pick up this palette. Now, another thing I noticed about this palette is these shades are complementary to the other palettes. Like that, this shade in this palette, perfect. This blue, This aqua color with this blue, amazing. Kind of reminds me of Newport Nights. And of course the neutrals with a pop of color, very, very in. So you can do a lot. Now this shade does contain a lot of greens, so you can use the two greens on the bottom and this golden shade for a fall look, but these two top shades are definitely not fall related. If anything, if any trend I can even try to remotely relate this to, I would say it's the comic print trend. But either way, the shades are really, really pigmented, and they blend really well together, so overall, it performed well. Now, I'm kind of messed up room on my hand, so let me wipe off my other hand to show you some of these swatches. So I'll show you. Now, the staying power of these shadows are so amazing that I'm having trouble getting them off. That's a good thing, though. So let's start with this beautiful, almost seafoam green, like the aqua green. Really, really bright. Really a beautiful shade. If you put that over primer, you're going to get a pop on the lid like nobody's business, and that's a good thing. Then we have this matte purple-based pink, like almost a lilac. We have your greens on the bottom. So you have like a shimmery light green. Then you have like almost a sage green. That's also a little shimmery. And then you have your gold right in the middle. So as you can see, it really leans a lot more spring, a lot more summer, but when paired with one of these other palettes, it really works. So I think this is like, it almost feels like this is the shades that didn't make it into the other palettes. Like I can see a lot of these greens on the bottom going with the nude in this palette, the nude and the white, or even this gold going with the nude, this gold with the nude and this. Like I feel like it's the colors that just didn't make it into the other palettes, and I still wanted to offer it to you. And for that, I respect them, because I feel like it gives me just a little bit more options in my fall look. So you can check them out there at Walgreens right now. I believe there are other major drugstores as well. I guess anywhere that sells the Fergie collection, you'll probably find this. They are limited edition, so if you see them, get your hands on them, because they're not going to be around forever. And like I said, my store was selling them for $4.11, normally $5 and change. Your store might have them for a little bit less, and I hope you enjoy the picture swatches, and I'll try to do some really good eye looks on my Instagram, so make sure to follow me. I'm Recycled Stardust.